Okay! It is currently 2 in the morning, but I have slept all day, so I really want to record a video. And I thought, why not actually start recording my APA retirement home run? So here we are. This is a new Showdown league for you kids to enjoy, for me to enjoy as well. But this one holds a very special place near and dear to my heart, as it is called the APA retirement home because this is a lot of the old heads that I started playing draft with that quit for a long time or retired or are done for a long time. We just they wanted to play again and come back just for some fun, nothing too sweat, nothing too hard. So it is gonna be a lot of fun this season. A lot of great people, love everyone in this league, and I'm very excited because obviously if you don't know, APA was my start really to get into the draft scene just in general, and then obviously I picked up through there. But you know, a lot of these players were a lot better than me, and beat me down every time I played a lot of these people like Panther and Jock and Hugo, and you know I'd always get my shit pushed in. But now I'm better, I'm older, I've grown, so I'm very excited to maybe not get my shit pushed in as badly this time. So if you guys are excited for our new draft league, forgot the word there, and are excited for some more Showdown content, which is a little more analytical, a little bit quicker, a little bit just snip out of the way videos, then make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe button down below. Did you guys know, fun fact, almost 50% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed to my channel? That's insane to me. So if you aren't subscribed, it's free. I'd really appreciate it. And there's my sellout for the day. So yeah, I don't do draft analysis really, other than the fairy tales, but I didn't feel like doing a whole fairy tale for this. I didn't last time I did a Showdown league for MLG. MLG I kind of had like an easy week 1, but since I actually played my week 1 for APA, I'll just kind of show over my team. So you guys can see our draft on the screen here. My team consists of ZAMAZENTA, Crown, Slowbro, Decidueye, Heracross, Clefairy, Regigigas, Mega Charizard X, Zapdos, Greninja, Stunfisk, and Muck. They wanted to do a tier system way back in the day, and I was down for it because I haven't done tiers all of Gen 8, which I learned is very much the inferior drafting system. Holy shit, tiers is so much harder because if you get sniped, you are fucked. And even then, so your options are so limited with what you can and can't do. So, but yeah, they wanted to do a tier system, so we pulled up a tier system. I was picked like 5 or something like that, so I ended up getting Zama C, which is super cool. I loved Zama C in BBL, and everyone shits on Zama C for being so like mediocre, and that's why it's allowed in standard, and in Ubers everyone shit on it. But I don't know, I loved that thing more than my actual Uber in fucking BBL back when I had it, and I think Zama C is fucking awesome. Round 2, I think I took round 2 Gren. Because there was nothing I was confident that I wanted, but Gren seemed really nice to break down Psychics for Zama, and just really nice to have that 2 elite speed tiers there. Round 3, I think I took Zapdos, as I really wanted to try... Yeah, I took Zapdos because I really wanted to try Zapdos. I haven't got to use it all of Gen 8. It gives me some more U-turn into Zama. Gives me a breaker and pivot to flyings and grounds, which is really nice for Zama. Round 4, I think I took Slowbro because Slowbro is broken. That's about it. Regen plus switch plus boots, so Slowbro. It might have been Slowbro then Zapdos. I honestly don't remember. I know I took round 5 Charizard because I actually wasn't planning on taking Charizard. But it was there round 5, and I'm like, this just seems too good to pass up. I love me some Charizard from MLG and stuff, so really cool mon. Round 6, I took Heracross. Another mon I've loved a lot, just absolute fucking breaker. Double fighting is super sick, especially with Zama because Heracross is bug, so it's like it really pressures down flying types, opposing flyings, but not even Zapdos. Like it pressures in like Torn and stuff to come and chew a hit, or just forces a sack. Things like fairies really don't want to take a pivot into Zama, and yeah, I think the dual fighting really works well with each other. It's just breaking each other's checks while having the same checks. They work really nicely together without being too redundant. Because Heracross can do a couple things like Scarf and Spikes and Guts, and Zama is Zama. Round 7, I probably took Stunfisk. That seems like something I'd take round 7. Or Clefairy. One of the two. I took Clefairy into Stunfisk, so it might have been Clefairy and then Stunfisk. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe it was Decidueye. I don't know. Decidueye is just a nice momentum on ground resist. Kind of have... Ground types are weird because like Heracross resists, but not really. Zapdos is immune, but like kind of not really. Decidueye is just a nice ground pivot. Slowbro is basically a ground resist too. Clefairy is just to stop people from running Outrage on me. But Clefairy is also slept on. Everyone's just on Clefairy, but that one's slept on. Shouts to Jason, that's my guy. Stunfisk is probably the biggest steal of the draft. It was tier 4, which it should be, but like, I don't know, he's cool as fuck. He just doesn't die, and he's Stunfisk. Then I took Regigigas because I think Regigigas is super slept on as a tier 5 normal, or I guess like a low tier normal. It's super fat. Even though with slow start, it actually does hit pretty hard. Things like knockoff and whatnot just do some nice damage, and it can just be kind of it's really good at sitting there. That's kind of its whole thing, is just sitting there. So just him. And then Muck, just grounded poison. There was literally like 3 grounded poisons in fucking tier 5. So I was like, sure, Muck. I don't know if I get sniped with Muck, whatever. I don't know. He's kind of funny looking, and he's pretty cool. So alright, and here we are with our week number 1 battle. We are taking on Mightykus, coach of the Boston Beedrills. Mightykus is someone I've played many a times way back in the day. I think I've taken a win every time over Mightykus, but I have this issue, especially now, where I play people who like maybe aren't as versed in the game, or just aren't at the same level that I am, and I tend to overplay, and that's, you actually do see it a couple times in this game. I'm not good at Pokemon, even though I say I am, so... to kind of run down my team, I didn't want to do a full team builder, because I'm not going to do them for the rest of the leagues, but I'm going to try and remember. I think I brought I was a really fat Charizard. I was really fat DD Charizard, just dual stabs, Roost DD. Really fat to set up on non-toxic Jellicent and just pivot and check things like Mega Venusaur. I took 1 Meteor Beam from Celesteela. And I think I took 1 Arrows from Zygarde, as well as taking, like, I think I took 2 Earth Powers from non-invested Venusaur after, Mega Venusaur after Rocks. I'll tell you his team, actually, so you guys have a better understanding of my build. His team consisted of the Celesteela, Raikou, Jellicent, Diancie, Bronzong, Rapidash, Mega Venusaur, Zygarde, Zoroark, Hitmonlee, and Licky Licky. So, yeah, it was a really fat Charizard to kind of just chew hits on that. I was a primarily Spadef Zapdos to pivot on things like the Celesteela. I always took 1 Meteor Beam, even if Rocks got up and I got knocked off. I always took multiple Earth Powers and Sludge Bombs from Venusaur. I checked Zoroark, and it was also to kind of just soft check things like Raikou and Hitmonlee as well. That could be annoying. Also pivot in on Jellicent to force it out or get damage on it for our Charizard. I am Howl 3 attacks, Zama with, I think I'm dual stab Psychic Fangs, I believe. Yeah, I think I'm dual stab Psychic Fangs on that Zama with Howl. We got a Howl up. I really break down his team. His team is very fat balance. His team is very Gen 7 standard. This is some shit that I drafted back in APA, the Zygarde Zama, or the Zygarde Mega Venusaur Celesteela core. Was some shit I totally rocked in, like, I think it was APA Season 5, Week 1, or Draft 1, the Wi-Fi one. Why is my hair not cooperating? You guys see that shit? I think this totally looks like, this totally reminds me of that team, if you guys if you've been with me for that long. So yeah, fuck off, hair. Yeah, just fat Zama. I don't think I'm too fast. His fastest mon is Raikou. I think I'm outspeeding Raikou, and then I have like a good amount of bulk to chew hits from a lot of things. I'm a Spikes 3 attacks Gren, because his hazard removal consists of Hitmonlee. Yep, that's it. Just Hitmonlee. Yeah, so Spikes are really nice. Everything on his team is grounded except for the Celesteela, and just getting entry hazards is going to be really nice for our Zard and our Zama. And also just Gren offensively looks really nice, pressuring Jellicent and having Ice Beam for that Zygarde there. I am an SD, pretty relatively fast but pretty fat Decidueye as well. I'm not too attack invested, but I am an SD Decidueye. The idea is to SD up as he goes into Venusaur and then Spirit Shackle and trap it, as I'm 3-hit KO'd by Sludge Bomb barring a poison. So I can trap the Mega Venusaur, and trapping the Mega Venusaur is really nice for my Zama, because without a Howl up, Venusaur takes 2 Psychic Fangs after Rocks very easily. So getting rid of the Venusaur really opens up my Zama, because it either forces damage on a defensive Celesteela, or forces him to pick a sack, or forces damage on the Jellicent there, which forcing damage on the Jellicent then opens up Charizard, and then Charizard can very easily win the game. Because if you look at his team's very weak to Charizard, barring the Jellicent and the Diancie. And then I'm a Flame Orb Guts Heracross with Protect. It actually leads really well into anything I think he'll lead. Especially if he leads with something like Diancie, I'm kind of in a weird spot, but because of how bulky I am, it's a roll to kill me with Moonblast after a close combat, and I take 1 from full if I don't close combat. So that's the squad we are rocking out with. Mightykus decided to bring the Celesteela Zygarde. Is my mouse showing on this one? No, it's not. Hold on, give me 1 second. I will show my mouse. Bonk. There we go. It's not working on the screen. It says it's working, but it's not working. He decided to bring the Celesteela, the Zygarde, the Jellicent, the Mega Venusaur, the Zoroark, and the Mega Diancie. So I'm going to opt to lead with my Heracross. Like I said, if he leads literally almost anything, Heracross claims a kill. If he leads with Celesteela, I'm willing to trade damage from my Heracross. I can always protect turn 1 and then force damage into a Celesteela. Guts CC just does so much to either defensive or offensive. Zygarde, dead. Not dead, but takes a shit ton. Jellicent takes a shit ton. Venusaur takes a shit ton. Zoroark takes a shit ton. And this thing, getting chip on the Diancie is really good for my Charizard since I don't have Earthquake or Iron Tail. So I'm going to lead with my Heracross. He's going to lead with Diancie. I'm just going to close combat turn 1. I debated protecting, but I didn't want to let him get free rocks up. I figured from his spot he sees, Heracross, so he figures free rocks for my Charizard, and overall just chipping my team. And Heracross can't do a whole lot, as you saw. That only did 36 to the Diancie there. So I just opted close combat. If I can get a close combat into a Guts close combat, this thing's basically dead. It lives on like 2% or some shit. But he's actually going to opt to just attack enemy and get rid of my Heracross. This was about a 60% roll to kill my Heracross because he wasn't invested in his Diancie. And I was really, really fat Heracross. So there was a good chance I live it, although I might have died to my burn the following turn. But even then, it would have forced another big hit off on anything. So unfortunate, but you can't really complain too much about rolls. Heracross goes down. I bring in my Decidueye. This is the perfect situation to Sword Stance up and trap the Venusaur, but it does opt to go into a Celesteela, which at this point I'm still convinced might be offensive Celesteela. I think Meteor Beam, like Flamethrower, Air Slash does really good in my team. Especially with what I have on the bench. I have like Stunfisk and shit, but like it doesn't do that great to his team. So I thought offensive Sally could totally be a valid win con here. So getting a +2 Shadow, Spirit Shackle off on the Celesteela was going to be huge for me. Just to get rid of it. They would die to like discharge from Zapdos and stuff. But he actually is going to reveal to be a Fizz Def Celesteela based on that 0 damage I did. The 44 from +2. I'm not that attack invested, but that only did 44. He reveals to be very Fizz Def. I guess as to try and check like Zama and Decidueye and things like that, and maybe even Heracross. He's going to go for an Air Slash, and I eat that up pretty freely, but I don't want to let my Decidueye die just yet, so I'm going to go to my Zapdos. Knowing that he is very bulky, I know that he's probably not rocking Meteor Beam or anything like that, so I can go to my Zapdos relatively free, take the Air Slash, and force him out as I just click U-turn here. Very free U-turn into my Gren on the Zygarde pivot. And here I'm going to click Spike as I expect him to switch out into something like either Celesteela or like a Jellicent pivot. He could go Venusaur, but if I Ice Beam there, they would take a lot. So, but I did think he would pivot into something like Celesteela just to keep his Zygarde. But he's going to opt to Dragon Dance in my face. This obviously reveals he's Yachi Berry. He has to be. If he's not Yachi Berry, he's insane. That's the other option. He's just genuinely a psychopath. But he is going to reveal to be Yachi Berry this next turn. He's going to Dragon Dance again. I'm going to Ice Beam. He's going to reveal the Yachi Berry, and I'm going to freeze him here. And this turned the game very interesting, because while the freeze sucks for him 1000%, I obviously still had a lot of outs to this. Things like Zama took 1, and my Zapdos did take 1 as well from this Zygarde. He couldn't set up again. He would have just died, so he would have had to kill my Gren here. If I didn't get the freeze, my play was to sack Decidueye. I knew that. That was actually my plan, was to pop an Ice Beam. I took a +1 hit because I had a good amount of bulk. I think I had a little bit of bulk my Gren. So depending on how offensive he is, my Gren did take 1 arrows. So my play regardless was to sack Decidueye next turn, but getting the freeze opened up a little bit of chat controversy. So chat, everyone, you can kind of see, everyone's saying Spike. Everybody's saying Spike if you're a real man. Everyone's saying you should spike. You should click spikes. Everyone's saying you should click spikes. And you know what? It's APA. It's APA retirement home. This is a for fun league. So I damn well click spikes because I knew he wasn't unthawing turn 1. Like nobody gets frozen and then unthaws the first turn. Nobody does it. It's just not a thing. I feel like it's almost guaranteed freeze. I know it's not, but like I've seen it happen, but like I feel it. You know what? Sometimes you just got to do things. So this turn I am going to opt to Ice Beam just because I don't want to go into my Decidueye, because if I guess I still should have went Decidueye here. Hindsight, I don't. I click Ice Beam as he does thaw out here and kills my Gren from +2. I think I still should have sacked Decidueye after that first spike, because even though it was funny, I definitely didn't want to lose my Gren. I think I should have sacked Decidueye though, because It didn't do anything this game. It really is just sack fodder at this point. Gren did a lot more than Decidueye did, but I wanted to kill him. But I was scared that if he unthawed and Dragon Danced again on my choke, on me switching out or something like that, I actually was in a lot of trouble. Just because Zama barely took the +2 hit, Zapdos barely takes the +2 hit, so him getting the +3 really puts me in a bad spot because I don't have a whole lot of priority on this team. I don't even think I had Sneak on the... I didn't. I had Leaf Blade and Roost on my last two, so I really didn't have any priority on this team. So if he did just click DD on a choke, trying to just unthaw, then I kind of lost there. So losing Gren was worth. I bring in my Zama though. I know I can very easily take, not easily, but I can take this +2 arrows like a boss, 77%, and knock him out with a close combat here. So threat dealt with, but I really am on the back foot. I have a 23% health dog, a 38% health Decidueye, so all of my eggs are currently in the Charizard basket, which actually isn't looking too bad here. 64% on the DNC plus 2 spikes, so that's 18%. So he comes in at about 48%, 44%, something around there. And Charizard can very easily chew a hit from a baby Diancie, so we're going to kill that, and he's going to send in Yoshi his Venusaur. I can keep my Zama and just go into my Zapdos. Zapdos can very easily chew this thing, especially because he's not an offensive Selly. I'm not too worried about my Zapdos dying here. Also, he had to click Earth Power there. He wasn't clicking Sludge Bomb or Giga Drain. There's just not a thing. So I'm going to fire for a Hurricane, as he does go for a Sludge Bomb, and gets a 30% poison. I'm not too concerned about it, because you're going to see that there's a lot of interaction between the Zapdos and Venusaur, so he was going to get it eventually. I'm not too worried about it. You can see, though, the Sludge Bomb did nothing, so... just forced me to roost a little bit more, but it's fine. He's going to synth up here, and this is going to be a little bit of an exchange between Zapdos and Venusaur. He's going to pivot into Celesteela. I missed my Hurricane. Doesn't going to matter because he's still in range to die to Discharge. He's going to protect. Discharge pops off, and he's going to go back into his Venusaur and not sack his Celesteela. So if I Hurricaned there, that would have been funny, but I have no reason to predict there. He's just trying to, I guess, stall me for poison. I'm going to roost. He's going to synth up. And I essentially, if I play my turns correctly, I can kill this Venusaur while being at about this range of health, is 88% here, which is going to be more than important because it checks a lot of his team here. It still checks the Zoroark, which I don't know anything about yet. So I'm really just trying to get as healthy as possible while killing this Venusaur. I am netting health every time I hit a Hurricane. If I miss a Hurricane, I'm a little bit behind, but also I'm stalling him at a Synthesis. He's going to crit Sludge Bomb. I barely noticed it was a crit. I'm just going to roost up again. Banking on a Confusion. He's going to Earth Power on my Roost, which was a really good play, but even that did nothing, right? 38 on a Predict, so he's going to keep Earth Powering as I Roost, but I'm netting health even with the toxic damage, so it's fine. He'll eventually hit himself or just stop predicting, as he does go for the Sludge Bomb there. And now I can fire off a Hurricane, get rid of him, and I will finish this exchange at 64%, which I'm more than content with. Because I was pressure, I was stalling him out of Synthesis very quickly, so he wasn't going to lose that exchange, which is why I was perfectly content, like, with him predicting me on Earth Power. I was like, I'm not too worried about it anyways. So, now my Zapdos at a decent amount of health. He's going to go into his DNC, as I'm just going to sack off my Decidueye. If he does get the aggressive Rocks up, Decidueye gets to come in, and I can Roost up as he goes into Celesteela, and then after a Roost, I can set up a Swords Dance on the Celesteela as he Air Slashes, because I'll very easily chew it from the 88%, and then get another big hit off on Celesteela as this goes down, and I can either bring in my Zapdos or my Charizard, and force this. Also, forcing out DNC would force more spikes, which means it would die to +1 Charizard, so he's going to Diamond Storm, though. He's not going to opt to get up Rocks, which is super nice for me, as I can bring in my Zama again, and start forcing more damage here, because if he switches into Jellicent, that spikes damage on Jellicent and forcing out this DNC, which, like I said, if he comes back in on spikes, he's dead to +1 Charizard, and forcing in Jellicent just gives me free Zapdos, or even just kind of existing with this thing. So I'm going to close combat, and he's actually going to give me the damage on DNC here, as he's going to body press and get rid of me, but I'm perfectly fine with that exchange, because now his Charizard checks at 12%. Jellicent doesn't beat Charizard unless he's toxic, and even then I can still set up and kill it faster than I would die to toxic. So I'm going to send in my Charizard and just Flare Blitz here. I can't set up too reliably just because of how much like Jellicent won't die to +1 declaw, because I'm not too invested, and Zoroark could be like with Sucker Punch, so I'm just going to Flare Blitz and get rid of the DNC. It just wasn't worth the damage. As he's going to send in his Jellicent and then double out into his Jellicent as I click Dragon Dance. So I clicked Dragon Dance on his Jellicent because this play was weird, but it kind of worked out for me. He went into his Jellicent originally, and then this is his Zoroark. He went Jellicent, and I wanted him to reveal Toxic to me. If he was Toxic, it meant I had to play a little bit more just click button with Charizard, which I wasn't too concerned about because it also opened up my Zapdos then, because Zapdos really does super well here. At worst case scenario, Charizard becomes the Zoroark check, and I win with Zapdos beating these two down because he can't poison my Zapdos because I'm Sludge Bomb poisoned. So I really wasn't too concerned about anything that Jellicent had to do to me, so I decided Dragon Dance in his face, and he goes hard Zoroark. I don't fully get why, unless he was trying to catch my Zapdos, but Zapdos always chewed a hit from it and then could roost up on it. So I am just going to Dragon Claw, and the Zoroark is just going to get blown to the next dimension, as he's going to send in the Jellicent again, and I'm going to click Dragon Claw. He's going to Curse Body me and Toxic me here, which means I have to spam Flare Blitz, which doesn't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Charizard is going to win the game here, but I have to take this Flare Blitz recoil, which is going to do 7, plus the Toxic damage. Then he's going to send in his Celesteela, and he's going to Protect once, get more Toxic damage on my Charizard, but it's fine because he's going to get a double Protect, which means that I have to take more Toxic damage on my Charizard, which then means I have to double down with my Charizard, making this a 1-0 win instead of a 2-0 win. My poor boy was robbed because I'm going to live the Flare Blitz but then die to Toxic. My poor boy was robbed of his life, but we do win with Zapdos in the back there. So that is my week 1 against Mightykus. So he was Rocky Helmet Celesteela. I didn't even realize that until right now. He was Rocky Helmet, so never mind. Free my boy Charizard. He just had to take all the recoil in that one. So even with the freeze, I think I still could have played around it. Even without the freeze, I think I still could have played around that Zygarde properly and came out with a very similar result to this one. So if you guys enjoyed the Showdown content, which is a little more analytical, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe button down below. Let me know if you guys want post comms or if you want me to live comm APA Retirement Home and be a little bit more myself, or if you guys want the little more broken down analytical stuff here, because I really enjoy doing both, but it depends on what you guys like. So if you guys enjoy, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe button down below. On the left hand side will be a YouTube video recommended for you, and on the right hand side will be the rest of our APA Retirement Home playlist if you guys haven't checked it out already. So with that, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Kurt, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. I'm out. Bye.